Okay, ready? Oh yeah. Yeah. Are you ready? Okay. Okay. Hey guys, I'm Shay.
I'm Sam.
I'm Mom.
And today we are going to be discussing Passenger by Alexandra Bracken.
In one devastating night, violin prodigy Etta Spencer loses everything she knows and loves. Thrust into an unfamiliar world by a stranger with a dangerous agenda, Etta is certain of only one thing. She has traveled not just miles but years from home, and she's inherited a legacy she knows nothing about from a family whose existence she's never heard of, until now. Nicholas Carter is content with his life at sea, free from the Ironwoods, a powerful family in the colonies, and the servitude he's known at their hands. But with the arrival of an unusual passenger on his ship comes the insistent pull of the past that he can't escape and the family that won't let him go so easily. Now the Ironwoods are searching for a stolen object of untold value, one they believe only Etta, Nicholas's passenger, can find. In order to protect her, he must ensure she brings it back to them, whether she wants to or not. Together, Etta and Nicholas embark on a perilous journey across centuries and continents, piecing together clues left behind by the traveler who will do anything to keep the object out of the Ironwoods' grasp. But as they get closer to the truth of their search and the deadly game the Ironwoods are playing, treacherous forces threaten to separate Etta not only from Nicholas but from her path home forever.
Okay, so we're going to start with initial thoughts, and we'll start with Mom.
It was just another romance. It was too romantic.
I really liked it.
Yeah, so did I.
Time travel and adventure.
Yeah, I guess.
I did not know that it was the first of a series.
Yeah, you weren't really
And the
too
way
happy
it
about
left
that, were
us
you?
hanging, I was like, oh.
And now we have to wait till next January or whatever to get the next part of the book.
First note was, Etta has a temper. I like her.
Yeah, she was feisty.
Kind of a funny thing that the author did. Once Etta was on the ship, and she's crawling across the deck. The guy that had been killed. So it says, she was crawling through that man's blood. I'm crawling through his blood. He was repeating what the author was repeating.
Oh yeah, she was, redundancies. My first note was that the ship wasn't as prominent as I thought it would be. Because I mean, there's a ship on the front cover,
Right.
but the ship
That's true.
is really only in it for like a little while. Like I thought that this book was gonna be like, his ship was gonna be like
how they
traveled. Yeah, how they like.
That would've
That's
been cool.
kind of what I
and so
thought
that's what I was
too.
thinking, but
Not just passages in random locations.
yeah, it didn't really have a place other than just Nicholas was kind of a pirate. I did like that. I like that there were pirates.
Legal.
Yeah.
It made me want to watch like Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was like just that whole time period with like the really big dresses and then the pirates and stuff. Like, I haven't watched that in a while. It's on Netflix now.
Oh, all of them?
No, just the first one.
Changes point of view very easily between the characters because they go back and forth between Nicholas and Etta.
Yeah. I like when they do that and they write it in third person.
Yeah.
It's like a whole different thing when it's written in first person and you switch between points of view, because then I feel like sometimes you don't know whose turn it is because like the author kind of wrote them both the same. So it was smart that she did it in third person. That way she could go back and forth between the two of them and not really have to change voice.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I was really confused though when it first went to the ship because I had no idea what was going on. I didn't realize that all of a sudden Nicholas is on a ship. It totally threw me for a
he was in
loop.
the jungle.
Yeah.
And then all
it
of a sudden
totally threw me for a loop. I had to read that first 2 pages of that chapter twice in order
Over and over and over.
to get myself to understand what they were,
Yeah.
where they were and what they were talking about. Yeah.
Well, at the beginning of each section, it gives you where they are in the
That's
year.
true. You didn't notice the full page that says
Well, I
the
did,
place
but
and the time period?
since that was the first time it had happened,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I hadn't
Okay.
really understood.
I did
what was
appreciate them because otherwise I wouldn't have had any idea
Oh my
where they
gosh.
were.
Well, yeah. There was definite insta-love between Nick and Etta.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But you know what? I actually kind of liked it. I'm not a fan of, I'm never a fan of insta-love, but for some reason, like, I think it was just because the book was long enough that it seemed like it was drawn out, even though the book takes place over the course of like what was it, like 10 days?
A week.
It wasn't
Yeah, not even. I mean, by the time they like...
8 days.
Yeah, but by the time, that was how long they had to
That's
get
how long
the,
they had, but it...
What do you call that thing? An
Astrolabe?
Astrolabe? Okay. I was like astrolabe. But yeah, they had 8 days to get it, but they like
I think
started
there was only like
liking
5
each other
days.
like well, but the thing is they were on the ship for a long time, but they didn't really get to talk on the ship. So that didn't seem like it was a very long
Right.
time.
Right.
But I don't know, but
Because Sophia kept her away from Nicholas once Sophia was well
Yeah.
once she got
Yeah,
over
like
her
so.
seasickness.
I liked it. But I think
really
maybe
liked
it's because the book was longer, so it just seemed like it wasn't as insta.
Well, and they're traveling between all these time periods, so I think it made it seem longer.
Yeah. And then also when you're stuck with the same person for like several days,
Well, 24/7 going through
things kind of progress faster.
life-threatening
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah.
I did not like Cyrus, which is what you're supposed to do anyway.
I loved him. He's my new book boyfriend.
He was
Is
power
he like
hungry,
80?
Probably.
and he sacrificed his sons and grandsons for power.
Yeah, he's a boohead. I don't like him. But I do like that they kind of gave him like a backstory or like a reason for his villainness. Because a lot of times people are evil just for the sake of being evil.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cheesy and overdone. But I like when they actually have a reason behind it. Because then you can not sympathize with them, but you can almost see why they're like they are now.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing with his wife and how he just was so in love with her and then
And
she
he
died.
wants to go back and find her.
Yeah.
But only in a way that he will still have his power.
Right. So he's still
Right.
a
He's
jerk
still being
face.
greedy.
He's still a bad guy just because he's greedy and
I thought it was interesting that Nicholas, even though all the traveling he had done and had the ability to do, he had never traveled further into the future than 1925.
yeah. I really liked that actually. I thought it was funny that like Edda would say something that, you know, we all know and is relevant to like our time period.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I don't get what you're talking about. And I think that's really smart because I feel like maybe some authors wouldn't have thought, oh, he probably doesn't know what this word means.
I thought it was really interesting that every year goes through the year at the same time. So when you're traveling, you're ending up
On
a
the same
different
day.
year on the same day.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Mhm.
And if you're
I thought that
wanting
was a
to
good
change something that happened before, you have to wait like all the way until that time.
Yeah, until that day.
You can't just travel back to a specific day and time.
Yeah, right.
It's the-
Which means that Edda was never going to be able to save Alice after she was
Because
born.
she
unless
was
she waited a year
Right.
because she wouldn't be able to go back to that day.
But you would think that if she were able to save Alice in like future books, that Alice wouldn't have died at the beginning of this book because
Yeah, but that's the same-
it wouldn't be
Right.
changing time.
That's true.
Because what Alice had said when they saw her in London,
Mm-hmm.
and she said that she knew that they were going to be coming back because it had already happened once.
Yeah.
So if she
since
wasn't
died,
going
she was going to die.
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. It's like the time travel paradox of you can't go back in time and stop yourself from going back in time, or else you never would have
Right.
gone back in time. you know?
Right.
But I also like how that was explained in the book because that's a paradox that anytime anybody brings up time travel, they say, well, if there was such thing as time travel, people could go back in time and not make there be time, you know.
Yeah, but
kind of
you
thing.
can never.
But so that was the excuse. But I like how they explained it to where you just kind of become a refugee.
yeah,
You lose
become orphans.
You become orphan. You don't have a time period basically to go back to because
and it's
different.
impossible to meet yourself because you're like thrown back out of the passage.
so I like
It's
that
impossible.
I like that there was reasoning behind that because I feel like a book like this, if it didn't have that in it, people would be like, well, that doesn't make any sense because this, and this, and so I like that
was
was
explained
kind of
really well.
Yeah. What was your favorite time period that they went to, or the place that they went to? They only went to 3, didn't they? There was
London.
there was Paris too, I
They
guess.
went to London.
London, Paris, Damascus, and that Angkor.
Yeah.
Angkor.
I think that one was really cool
The jungle?
because that would be really fun to go see.
Terrifying.
It would be terrifying, but at the same time, if you knew how to time travel, you'd be a lot more prepared than she
True.
was.
I guess, but still, just being out in a remote jungle with wild animals and snakes and no thanks.
Yeah, but and all the ruins, and I thought that would be really cool to go see.
Yeah, maybe if you weren't susceptible to getting bitten by a snake or killed by a tiger.
Yeah, but you would know where you're going.
'Cause you
and
can't-
you'd
you can't-
be prepared.
Yeah, but you can't like
You
once
can't
you're
predict what you're going to meet
yeah,
up with.
and once you're like if you're in grave danger, you can't. There's no way for you
can't
to just be like time
jump
travel
out
out of
of it.
there. You have to get to the passage.
See, I've always thought the 50s would be really cool to visit,
Yeah, and that was London, right?
but I wouldn't want to be in London during
During the war?
World War, and I wouldn't.
When you're having to run underground whenever there's an...
Yeah, that'd be
so
really scary too.
I think the Paris one was.
I know, and originally I was thinking London too, just because again, yeah, I agree with you, and it'd be cool to be in that time period, but just not in that place. But yeah, so yeah, I think Paris would be cool.
It would be really difficult if you went back in the past and somebody's talking about something that hasn't happened yet.
I know, and you're like,
To say something
I
like
know
when
it's
she
yes.
was when they were talking about why America hasn't joined the war yet, and
Yeah.
she's thinking,
And she's
well,
like-
they will when they get attacked.
Yeah. Well, and just like if something slips, you would like completely. You could. That's possibly
Oh,
completely
yeah.
altering the future.
Yeah.
So I think time
Gosh.
traveling would be really scary because you don't know if something that you accidentally say or
You're always have to
do
be on guard.
would just completely change
Yeah.
the future. Yeah.
Because
that'd be
could you
terrifying.
imagine what could have happened if she said, well, the Japanese are planning on bombing Pearl Harbor, and
then
they
stop
tell
it.
somebody, and then they stop it, and
And then what? I mean,
then it didn't happen, and America doesn't join the war.
yeah, and so maybe we wouldn't have all these, alliances with European countries and so on.
Yeah.
It could be a disaster.
The other side could have won.
We could be European. Oh, we could be German. Julian!
Julian isn't dead!
I thought so from the beginning.
I didn't see
because
when he got crackly.
yeah, because Nicholas didn't see
There
him
was no
die.
body.
I was like,
He just
oh, he
disappeared.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't see him hit the ground and
Right.
be dead.
Yeah. So, well, and like when I first started reading it and Julian was in it, I was kind of, in my head, I was thinking of Julian as some like pompous brat.
But
but then-
he was.
Supposed to be a
But then-
pompous brat.
As you read the rest of the book, it seemed like Nicholas was like, he like liked him. Like, he was his brother and he,
like
But
him.
he
But I
still
thought
held his position over him, or
I-
his head.
yeah, but it seemed like throughout the book, Nicholas talked about or thought about him as a better guy than he was portrayed as at the beginning. It just kind of confused me. I was like, is this the same Julian that was at the beginning of the book?
I
'Cause this doesn't sound right.
understand that.
Yeah.
So then, if Julian's not dead, he is the heir.
Dun dun dun!
So what about Sophia? Because she wants to be the heir.
She's trying to kill Julian, who was betrothed to before he died.
Oh, so actually, then she'd just marry him, and they're both basically.
Yeah,
They're
then
cousins.
yeah, but they were far
just
enough
weird.
away cousins,
Yeah, they were
like very
distant
distant cousins.
Oh, I have a note. At the end, how Rose says we have to change the timeline back to get Edda back. Wouldn't that just kill Edda? Because the reason the timeline changed and she got stuck somewhere else was because the astrolabe wasn't destroyed like it was supposed to be.
That whole
So
part
she
confused me.
got pushed to a different
She got pushed back.
If Nicholas destroys the astrolabe and makes things go back to how it was before the timeline would have been changed, she still would have been shot and she was still dying on the ground.
Yeah, but they did say that there was people close to the tombs where they were, that maybe they could find help there.
That's
before
true,
taking
before-
her back.
Yeah, that's true.
We shall see. That's a really big cliffhanger.
And
I wasn't expecting
in
to
9
see
months.
Rose at the end.
But I'm glad she showed up though.
Yeah, because it kind of explained some things, and
Yeah. And I just liked that.
Nicholas isn't stuck.
Yeah, then he wasn't by himself.
Yeah.
He was gonna have another person who knew what they were doing. A lot of like science fiction books have to go like super duper in depth when talking about time travel. Props to Alexander Bracken because I feel like not very many people will be able to write a book about time travel. Ooh, what time period would you want to see in the next book?
Dinosaurs.
You want to see the dinosaur age?
Egyptian pharaohs.
So like that, the like biblical Egypt time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I want to see like future. Like
Ooh.
like this could turn into like a post-apocalyptic book. They go to like the year like
Space
21,
travel.
21 something. Because it seemed like all the places that they traveled to were before present day.
Yeah, they all.
So-
Well, and that's a lot easier because you know what's already happened. I mean, in the
Yeah, that's
future, you're
true.
just guessing.
That's true. But I think so. In the next book, I think they're going to travel into the future.
So next month, we are reading The Last Survivor series by Susan Beth Pfeffer, and we are reading all 4 of these books, but they're not very big.
Yeah,
they're only about...
It'll be fine.
First one is 337 pages. So these books are about an asteroid has hit the moon, which was expected. But they were not expecting the catastrophic events that follow, such as the tides have completely changed and all of the coastlines are gone, millions of people are dead. Cell phones and electricity are all going in and out, which in today's age
Is awful.
is a terrible thing to happen because
I can't update my Facebook status.
yeah, stuff like that, I'm sure. So these books follow families that are having to go through this. And I'm looking forward to reading them.
Yeah, I think they look really good. Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope that you liked it. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you next time with another video, and you will see them at the end of next month. So, bye!
Bye!
Bye!